Ladies and gentlemen, with week 2 fast approaching, I wanted to give you guys 10 bets I absolutely love for this upcoming week. And then at the end, I'll be doing my weekly parlay that I like, where I just bet on money lines, things like that. But guys, let's get through my top 10 overall bets, starting with number 1. And it is Ohio State minus 14.5 versus Oregon. This line is climbing. Oregon, their superstar pass rusher potential, number 1 overall pick, will probably not be playing in this game. I believe he had a sprained ankle last week. He had it, in an air cast, whatever. But if I'm Oregon, you have to be very careful with this kid, because if he re-injures, he could just say, I'm going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. I'm just going to shut it down. I'm not saying you completely, give up the game to Ohio State, but when it comes to, I would not start him. I would sit him. I would rest him. I would say, we need you for the Pac-12 games. Ohio State 14.5. It's a lot of points. I understand it, but it's the first game at Ohio Stadium in 2 years. The crowd's going to be crazy. Minus 14.5 noon game, maybe a little quiet, but I like Ohio State to cover. Moving on to number 2, Illinois at Virginia, under 55. This is an 11 a.m. game. I see both of these teams kind of sleepwalking through it. Again, weird start time, 11 a.m. before noon. Under 55, 2 bland offenses. You're talking about like a 20-17, maybe 20-10 type final. I love the under in Illinois at Virginia. Number 3, Arizona minus 2 versus San Diego State. Little disappointed this spread has gone to where it was. It was originally Arizona plus 1, which was great value. But Arizona, I think they've lost 13 or 14 games in a row. They're due for a win. They look decent week 1. Their quarterback Cruz threw for 350 yards, I believe. They have a really good receiver as well at home against San Diego State. I like them to win outright and then cover that 2 points. Again, the spread opened plus 1. That would have been great value just getting them on the pick'em line, but now they are minus 2. Moving on to number 4, Boise State minus 26. I have them covering against UTEP. UTEP's running back got injured. Boise State is mad after their loss to UCF. UCF came back and won. I've got Boise State. It is a big spread. This is a Friday night game. You're talking maybe like a 56-10 type win for Boise State. Moving on to number 5, great value here. Troy plus 6 versus Liberty. Everyone loves Malik Willis. Everyone's on that hype train. I understand it. But when you look at the actual analytics, ESPN FPI actually has Troy favored to win this game outright. To me, it was just too good value. I had to throw it on here. Troy plus 6. I don't think they win it outright, but that is really good value for them at home, and they are a good football team. Washington at Michigan, the under 51. That is a low number, I know, but I just cannot for the life of me see this game as anything other than a defensive slugfest. A lot of people kind of overreacting, saying Washington really sucks because they lost to an FCS. Obviously, it's not a good look losing to an FCS, but guys, it is just one game. Washington still does have a good defense. They have absolutely zero receiving core right now, though. So if Washington's going to have any chance to win this game, it's going to be ball control, control the clock. This game has 20-13 written all over it in my, estimation. I like the under. It is a low number, but I like that under 51. Number 7, Coastal Carolina minus 25 versus Kansas. Kansas is a horrific football team. I understand they beat South Dakota week 1. It was a close game. Coastal Carolina, I see them easily covering 25. You're talking, if Coastal Carolina scores 40+ points, they're going to cover. They're not going to allow Kansas more than a touchdown. And that's probably going to be a garbage time type score, so I've got them covering the 25. Number 8, Miami of Ohio plus 20 at Minnesota. Probably a game not a lot of people are betting, but I just don't think Minnesota's very good. And we obviously know what happened to Raheem Ibrahim. This spread would probably be, Miami of Ohio plus 27 if Ibrahim was healthy. He's out for the year with the ACL, whatever. But Minnesota, I'm an Ohio State fan. I really just don't think Ohio State played that well week 1. I think it was week 1 jitters. They struggled. I don't think Minnesota's ever any good. A lot of Ohio State fans were trying to hype up Minnesota like, oh, this is a really good football team, that's why we struggled with them. No, I just think Ohio State didn't play well. And I think Miami of Ohio can cover the 20-point spread. Maybe a game like 30-17, something like that, Miami of Ohio covers. Number 9, Northern Illinois. Plus 6.5 versus Wyoming. I love this. I absolutely love this. Northern Illinois is at home. Wyoming's traveling across country. Give me Northern Illinois. Solid football team year in and year out. Plus 6.5. They could win that game outright, but definitely plus 6.5. I'll take that. And then we've got Florida minus 29 at South Florida. So my train of thought here is Emory Jones really struggled week 1. They're going to want to get him going. They're going to want to get him confidence, 3 or 4 touchdown passes. South Florida this year, if you guys don't know, normally South Florida's kind of decent. They're like 6-6, 7-5. They are horrific apparently this year. So Florida minus 25. I just think this is more so Florida didn't play good week 1. They're going to want to get their offense in rhythm. I could see them scoring 50 plus. If they score 40 or 50 plus, they're going to cover the 29. And guys, when it comes to my big parlay of the week, my weekly parlay, where I just pick the money lines maybe, we've got the Texas money line at Arkansas. So I believe Texas is 6.5, maybe 7-point favorites right now at Arkansas. I don't see them losing to Arkansas. They had a big win last week at home against Louisiana. Bijan Robinson is a beast. Arkansas struggled at home against Rice last week. I don't know if they'll cover the 7, but I think they definitely win. Parlay that with Ohio State money line versus Oregon. Not great value there, I'm sure, because Ohio State's 14-point favorites, but I just think they're guaranteed to win. Parlay that with FAU moneyline versus Georgia Southern. So FAU lost last week. They're only 7-point favorites. I view that as kind of good value on the money line. When you look at FAU, I think they definitely win at home, get their first win of the season. We've got Temple money line at Akron. So Temple got destroyed by Rutgers last week. They're only 7-point favorites at Akron, but Akron is absolutely awful. They're absolutely awful. I see Temple winning that game even on the road. And then another Kentucky money line versus Missouri. So Kentucky is at home. The transfer quarterback from Penn State, Will Levis, looked really good week 1. Wan'Dale Robinson looks good. That crowd's going to be amped up. It is going to be a close game, but I do have Kentucky. That's an SEC matchup beating Missouri. They are at home. I believe they are 5-point favorites, but if you just take the money line for the parlay, that's what I would recommend doing. And then this is probably my biggest reach. NC State money line at Mississippi State. Mike Leach and the air raid offense there. NC State, the ACC needs this win so bad. Mississippi State looked terrible last week. I think they almost lost to Louisiana Tech. They had to score something like 21 points in the fourth quarter to come back and win, I think 35-34. NC State right now is 2.5-point favorites. But if you parlay all these money lines, Texas winning outright, Ohio State winning outright, FAU winning outright, Temple winning outright, Kentucky winning outright, and NC State winning outright. I don't know the exact odds you would get on that, but I'm sure it'd be a pretty nice profits. I view those teams, the most risk, I would say, either Kentucky or NC State. But again, NC State only 2.5-point favorites. Mississippi State looked so bad last week. They really did. And NC State looked good, albeit it wasn't a good opponent. But guys, those are my top 10 bets, plus a little parlay of the week for week 2, guys. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.